Alright everyone, it's time for Vermont Issues, episode 113. Despite the fact that he got screwed by the DNC, Sanders right now is actually actively fundraising alongside the Vermont DNC for the Democratic Party. Now I wonder if all of these hillbots who are constantly saying, well, he wasn't a real Democrat, the DNC had to stop him from getting nominated because he wasn't a member long-term of the Democratic Party. But you don't have any problem with the DNC taking money that he's fundraising for you. Yeah, what a horrible person. He's just a total backstabber, can't be trusted to take part in anything belonging to your party. But you can take his money. It's okay if he fundraises for you as a non-Democrat. That's okay, because he can pull in a lot of money because you've got nobody else to fundraise, because nobody fucking likes any other Democrat in the whole country. You can do that, but he can't be the candidate because he's going to stab everyone in the back somehow. Now, I think what happened is that after it was exposed that the DNC shafted Sanders, that it screwed him, it stabbed him in the back, it schlonged him, it swindled him out of money and used it to fund his opponent while the primaries were still going on, and screwed him over in other ways. Once that was revealed, the hillbots had a meltdown because the DNC did rig the game. And so I had to use an excuse. And so I think they used their propaganda apparatus, their David Brock shills and their legacy media buddies to disseminate word, oh, well, the DNC had to stop him because he wasn't a Democrat. And by the way, you are either sexist or Republican plant if you point out the fact that the Clinton camp and the DNC screwed him and stabbed him in the back, as they didn't want to lose the entire youth voting base of the Democratic Party. Meanwhile, in other news, really funny, supposedly there's a Democratic wave going on right now, an anti-Trump wave, which involves states that were blue to begin with. It is not exactly like 2009. They're trying to convince people that it is, but I mean, again, if this is the bellwether for the midterms, okay, the Democrats took a few House seats. They don't have any political control. Oh, another governor's seat went their way. Wonderful. Now they've got, what, 32 for the Republicans instead of 33. What a wonderful time. Well, maybe they hit it 30, so it's only the 30-20 or something along those lines. That's basically their form of optimism at this point. And then we have the autistic screeching protests going on as well, because, of course, it's November 9th. I'll definitely be weighing in on that. But so it's funny, because even just today, like on Being Liberal, like 10 minutes ago, I see a post. And it's like, oh, well, I like both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And some people were like, well, yeah, okay, that's okay. But Bernie Sanders was screwed by Hillary Clinton, and that's why Trump is elected. Now, I don't agree with that 100%. The whole, hey, because the DNC did this to Sanders, the Democrats lost. No, you would have lost anyway, just probably by a smaller margin. A couple of those really close states. Maybe you would have had higher youth voting. Maybe you would have been able to retain Michigan. Maybe you would have retained Florida. I don't think so, but maybe. But they were sitting there, all the Hillary fans and the neoliberals, which usually overlap. They're like, oh, just get over it. We need to, Bernie Sanders fans should just stop complaining. He's not a Democrat. He never was a Democrat. Shame on him for not, endorsing faster. He waited one day to endorse her, so somehow he is a villain. Meanwhile, these people are oblivious to the fact that Bernie Sanders is openly fundraising for your party, you moron. But remember, he's a horrible traitor. He did something wrong. Well, I look at Bernie Sanders and I just see someone who doesn't have any fiscal sense, who wouldn't be capable of economically leading our country into anything except maybe the 1830s. That being said, though, that doesn't make him... No, the boogeyman of the Democratic Party is Hillary Clinton, who spent the last year whining about why she lost, targeting everybody under the umbrella of the entire left, in addition to everybody under the umbrella of the so-called right. It's not just, well, those damn dirty Republicans swindled me. Oh, the evil RNC, Russia or something. When she was just complaining about the Russia or Trump's a bigot sort of thing, or he's a blowhard and so a lot of sexists voted for him or something. And at the very least that, plays up to the Democratic fan base. They're not going to, they might say, well, Hillary, okay, it's getting old. You've been saying this for months, but she's not targeting them. Now she does. She openly targets female voters, black voters, Hispanic voters, complacent blue staters, the evil upper middle class union families, whatever. Everybody has screwed her except for herself. Bernie Sanders, meanwhile, is actually attempting to cobble together a little coalition to help the DNC. It desperately needs it. Now, if anybody, by the way, has the capability of actually restructuring the Democratic Party in such a way that's capable of winning a fucking election in the future, it probably is Bernie Sanders. The thing is, the neoliberals, though, they have this huge because they get so much corporate cash, and so much cash from the more corrupt, dishonest side of the mega unions and lobbyists and big banks and multinational firms, the sort of economic nationalism of a Sanders-style socialist, cultural multiculturalism, fiscal nationalism, oddly enough, that doesn't work. They need outright fiscal globalism. That's what they need, because otherwise those multinational firms, of course, can't, cheat the third world out of most of its money while also destroying jobs here and pocket productivity on both ends. That's what the Democratic Party, the neoliberals there, want. Sanders, meanwhile, is trying to reform things a little. He's almost, like Trump, he's a mild reformer. He's still clueless. He's still a race baiter. He's still, he's got some weird ideas, but he is a mild reformer compared to, the neoliberals. He's not so much a war hawk. He's more interested in, hey, free ice cream, stuff like that. So he's fundraising, but these people still think that he's not a Democrat, but will take his money. That's about all. Peace out.